All right, everybody, we got the good brother on the line right now, man. Getting ready to go ahead and put us up on game about the new Ahat Hawaii situation that's getting ready to pop off here in the near future, man. Y'all show some love. We got the King, Son of One on. Yo, what's going on with you, fam?
What it do? Aloha, everybody. And first and foremost, I'd like to thank you for having me on the show. And I appreciate everything you're doing for the culture. And I've been listening to, your interviews as of late. And it's an honor to be here, man. Been Humboldt County right now, man. I had to take a trip out from Sacramento, and, I'm literally in the middle of the woods right now. So, and, it took a long time for me to get to a cell phone spot and talk to you, man. You would trip out if you guys knew where I was right now.
Trust me, I've probably been out that way, man. I know exactly what you're talking about, King. But yeah, man, I definitely appreciate you, taking time out of your day to come up here, man. I'm honored to have you up on the show.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, no problem, man. So, I want to kind of give, people background, for those who may not be familiar with you. How did you originally get your start in battle rap?
Man, battle rap. First, I was an artist, right? And I did the 8 Mile type battles back in the day over beats and stuff. I laid down the foundation for a lot of the hip hop in Hawaii. I am a pioneer as far as an artist, as far as the hip hop culture in Hawaii. I did a battle 3 years ago in Honolulu. I was on vacation. I battled this dude named Osna, and he's like the top of the top, and I seen some of his videos, and we have you remember the box like back in the day? They play a lot of the local artists right there, and you know what I mean? Me laying down the foundation, these cats were like saying they were the king or whatnot. So to make a long story short, I seen dude in the parking lot, and I offered him 5 Gs to battle him. Things didn't turn out the way it did, so I didn't put up 5 Gs. I ended up battling him, and I did very well. I felt like I won. So that was my introduction, and I just went first battle in that type of format, a cappella. I went at him, unlimited rounds, 3 rounds, and that's unheard of. That's like a no-name going against Danny Myers, compared in Hawaii. You know what I mean? So that's how I started. And then from there, I reached out to Ron Compton, and then I got into the LA Riots Battle League. I did a few battles in Ahat as well, and I got a lot more to come. I felt like I haven't even scratched the surface, but I'm trying to put on all the heads that, want to make it out from Hawaii, and just showing them that, if you have enough drive, you can do it, and I just applied myself through that way, you know what I mean? And I feel like I haven't even scratched the surface. We have established hip-hop artists, MC, battle rappers like 808, Corleone, and a few others. Hypnosis, he has connections with the Ahat and Hawaii, you know what I mean, as well. And my brother S, who actually helped me spark this. It was actually Hypnosis, S, and I came up with the idea, to do this and to do a chapter. There is in Hawaii, and there's a lot of talent out there. I just wanted to facilitate a platform, some legitimate that they could latch onto, bro. You know what I mean? So that's how it started. Off this, we were all doing this, the event up in Washington recently. So, from there we just, it solidified. So that's kind of like a little touch on where I come from and how this started as well.
Okay, I heard that. That's what's up, man. I definitely, with you being a battler yourself, man, I already know that you have an understanding of kind of what goes into the battler's mindset, and as well as being able to help other people to be able to go ahead and get, over here or to just build where they're at. And that's a dope thing right there.
Right, yes, sir. And you know what I mean? Me being the president right now is like, first and foremost, I have love for the culture. You know what I mean? And then me doing that battle is legendary in Hawaii. You know what I mean? And I did it because I have love for the culture and I have love for hip hop and I have love for the people. You know, it's evident. You know, and there's a lot of talent that they're kind of in Hawaii. There's it, it's really like everybody's for themselves out there. You know what I mean? For years, I've been trying to put together something for the hip hop heads as well as battle rap, but nobody wants to work with each other. You know, it's nobody wants to let like one other fly. You know what I mean? So me coming up and my confidants coming up with this league and Ahat, it's a legitimate brand. It's something that, you know, an individual can start off from ground up and elevate, you know. And I know they'll come out from the woodworks, and I know that all the other battlers from out of state would love to be a part of, you know. And I think about those guys that are, like, coming from South Central, coming from, like, the gutters, you know what I mean, that haven't even been on a plane, you know, to show them that type of environment and that type of love, man, I think it's a beautiful thing, you know. And, you know, excuse me, brother. And I grew up in Oakland, California, partly. You know, I was born and raised in Hawaii, but I was raised in the hood too as well. You know what I mean? So I recognize the lack of exposure one gets when they grow up in that type of environment. And Hawaii's the same thing. Little do you know that there is hoods in Hawaii and people never been on a plane or never thought they had that opportunity to even go out of state. I want to facilitate that. You know what I mean? And you know, and not only that is we're trying to have a platform for artists doing the music as well. You know what I mean? We're trying to not, you know, just be in a box of battle rap. You know, we're trying to, you know, spread it out and do more than that, you know, for the community as well. You know, so that's where I feel like it's lucrative and it's a positive thing, you know, first and foremost for everybody, you know, not just for the state of Hawaii, but for Ahat too as well, you know. So it's an honor. It's not just me, bro. You know, this has been trying to bubble up for many years, man. And, you know, there's a lot of people that battle out there and they don't want to fuck with it. You know what I mean? Because they're all about self. They're all about money. They truly don't have love for that culture, you know. And then, you know, I'm trying to bring something. Me and my peoples are trying to bring something where it's more than that. You know what I mean? We elevate each other, man. You know, and that's where I feel like as a whole it's lacking, you know. And I feel like we need to just support each other, you know, come to that conclusion, and we can elevate as a whole, man, you know.
Oh yeah, no, that's a fact, and I definitely want to commend you. You know what I'm saying? Salute you for just staying with that and actually trying to give something of substance and something that's quality. You know what I'm saying? Not just back to the culture, but back to that whole entire state, just back to that whole entire region where, you know what I'm saying, like you said, a lot of people, they're out for self. And, you know, I can relate to that, man. You know, being out here in Northern California, there's a lot of that goes on out here. And, you know, it's always somebody who just has to go ahead and take that step to say, you know what, you know, fuck it, I'm not going to worry about what everybody else is doing. I'm going to bring some quality and the real people, the authentic individuals who are really about putting on and getting more exposure to the, you know, their city and their region are going to be the ones who get behind it. So I definitely commend you on staying consistent with that and bringing something like that to the culture and to that region.
Word. And then that brings me to this quote that I heard the other day, is to be a true king or queen, you got to learn how to serve first. You got to learn how to serve the people. You know what I mean? If you don't know what it is, the bottom, and you know what I mean, that's the whole Trump shit. It's like he never struggled. You don't understand where the people was coming from. This motherfucker was eating with a silver spoon from day one. You know what I mean? So that's what makes a true king. He knows what the people are yearning for. And I feel like we're trying to fill a void that's been, you know, hasn't been there forever. You know what I mean? And it's just like not since back in the day, You know what I mean? I go out to the club now and shit, and ain't nobody dancing or smiling. You know what I mean? Motherfuckers is walking through you. When we was throwing events, and I don't want to like sound old or anything, we was throwing events back in the day, and you know, people were actually interacting. You know, we're in a narcissistic generation, you know what I mean, where people are too cool for school. And, you know, when we was throwing those functions, people were interacting. I don't give a fuck, like if you was a gangster, a hippie, or a nerd or whatever, people were interacting. There was businesses being spawned from those conversations, you know what I mean? And it was all love before that social media shit. So we need to recognize that and teach the youth. We can talk all this shit, but, like, who's really teaching the youth? Community, genuinely, you know what I mean? Because, like, even the old school gangsters back in the day, you see American Gangster in the beginning, he's throwing turkeys out for the community. Yeah, he's a hustler or whatever, but he was giving back to the community, and the community was protecting him because he took care of the community. You know what I'm saying? And that's where my motivation sparks. And I like to thank, like, OD, Hypnosis, you know, S, for really just pushing me, because I've been feeling that, and I've been wanting it for a long time. You know what I mean? And I feel like battle rap in itself, man, is like, it's funny, man. You know what I mean? It's like at times I hate it, and I know a lot of other battlers feel that. You know what I mean? And you know, we just got to support each other regardless. You know what I mean? And I think about, like, dudes like Billy Boondocks and 65. You know what I mean? And it's just like, you know what I mean? I feel where they're coming from, but it's just like I feel like they get a lot of flack from you know, what they do, but I feel like they're just exerting themselves and expressing themselves in the wrong way. You know what I mean? I feel like they get a lot of flack from doing that, and I think it's all good. It's like people need to hear that. You know what I mean? Because we all got, at the end of the day, we all got love for this culture. You know what I mean? And that's why I fucks with the LA riot and all that, because these are not dudes that just talk about it. They actually live that shit. You know what I mean? Geechee Gotti, Ron Compton, they lived in the gutter. This is something so positive. They're not doing what the normal person does in their environment. At the end of the day, we building. And I got mad love for all of them. You know what I mean? And that's why I go out to LA and fucks with them, because real recognize real. You know what I mean? Dre Vicious, all that, man. This is something they could have been doing, some whole different, you know, on a whole different note, you know. But this music shit, this battle rap is out. You know what I mean? And that's what I recognize, you know. And you know, it's motivating, you know.
Oh yeah, most definitely is. I want to ask you, because I know you're a battler, and I know that you know, very competitive, and I know that you really do take time and put the effort into your craft. So I gotta ask you a question, man. I ask this to everybody who comes on the show, man. If you had a top 3 hit list right now of the people that either you really respect them and you want to battle them, or the people that maybe you just don't feel like they're as good as advertising, you just want to battle them just to go ahead and prove that point, who would that top 3 be?
Oh man, that's a tough question. That's a loaded question though. It's like, do I just mention dudes that I respect, or just people that I would, you know, I want to headhunt and get at them?
I mean, we can start with the respect. Like, who are some battlers that you respect that you would just like, if I could battle them, I would just let a battle them just off the respect I have for them?
Okay, there's a thin line of being corny and being profound. You know what I mean? So the dudes that I feel like don't get enough credit, and I think that's extremely ill, would be Illmaculate. Would be, man, he's somebody I idolize, you know, respect. Of course, Daylight, you know what I mean? Just because he, you know, I like originality. I like people that don't, you know, sound like the next dude. So that's two. And the third one would have to be that's new, that came out, and just because off his pure drive and him investing in his brand, and I feel like he got a lot of flack for that. It would be Danny. You know what I mean? Because he's a hard hitter. Somebody that will want to battle that's coming up right now, man. A lot of these dudes, man. I can't even mention it. It's like a lot of these dudes. I feel like I haven't even scratched the surface on what I could do. And I think I've like taken on battles where I sabotaged and I wasn't prepared or like underestimated the situation. People that I would like to battle, of course, like eventually Dre, Geechee, Grizz, people from like Washington would be like, Hypnosis Patron, Kennedy, Emerson Kennedy, those guys are ill. And that's about it right now. You know what I mean? I can think of that's coming up in the ranks that I feel that's ill, Caustic. I feel like he's kind of overrated, a lot of those KOD dudes, you know what I mean? There's a lot of, that's a funny thing. There's a lot of these dudes that are like, they didn't never live that life. You know what I mean? And I'm the type of dude, I could be doing all types of crazy hustling or whatever. I wouldn't even go into that, but I would never speak about it because I come from that era where real gangsters don't talk about that shit. You know what I mean? And I'd rather come off dorky or be a nerd and let somebody think that than, them knowing what I'm up to, But that's just where I come from, and I'm old school like that, So that's a big challenge in how I format my lyrics and my battles now. I'm trying to formulate into something different. I always try not to sound like the next man, And I think Daylight did a big thing for the community about doing that. You know what I mean? So you watch a lot of my battles, they won't catch it until, you know what I mean? They silent. They listening to me, that's why. You know what I mean? And I get it. And I'll carry the cross. I don't give a fuck if I get no response and stuff. You know what I mean? And somebody that's similar is Jonai. You know what I mean? He has some ill different shit. You know what I mean? Of course. So I hope that answers your question right there. Sorry I'm so long-winded.
Oh, nah. Not at all. I'm letting you get all your rounds off, man. We unlimited up here, man. I'm not smack. Okay. I don't call time, so.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
I want to ask you, because I know you mentioned Ilmac, and that's funny that you mentioned him, because a lot of people, he kind of gets lost in the shuffle. A lot of people just don't remember at one time how great he really was. And I think that
I've been watching this shit since Scream Jam. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
It's funny. It's funny. You know what I mean, to see these dudes elevate. And I wish a lot of these old school dudes did come back, because it's fun to watch like a Iron Solomon come back. You know what I mean? And like, I would love to see what's his name? Forgot the dude's name. The Jewish dude. Old school cat. What's his name?
Jewish dude. Only one I can think of is Iron.
Nah, there was another dude. Sokon.
Yeah. Okay,
Sokon.
there we go. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It would be dope to see like those type of cats come out, from just to see how they would do in, the modern day format and stuff though. And that brings me back to like, you get these dudes coming from like San Diego and whatnot, and I'm hearing gun bars and all this dude, and I'll smack you, and it's funny to me because it's like, I don't believe you, but like they're getting gassed, and then that's with a lot of like, not only battle rap, but media, you know what I mean? Is like people is oohed and awed off the most simplest ass shit. And you know what I mean? you have to fucking and that goes with all the different leagues. You know what I mean? You have to format different from a KOD to a URL to, you know what I mean? And that's something I'm trying to learn. You know what I mean? And somebody that does that very well and always stays the same, passwords. You know what I mean? He's always stayed the same, and that's something that I respect very much. You know, and that's what I'm hoping, where the culture goes back to the real. You know what I mean? I know they're yearning for the real. You know, and that's what we're trying to do with this league too, as well. You know what I mean? Is bring out the camaraderie, bring out the real community. Because I want to see dudes come out with albums and all this shit. You know what I mean? I'm tired of all this, like, you know, there's always a stigma of, like, battle rappers can't make music. You know what I mean? But we forgot what this is all for. This is a stepping stone for the music, or whatever you want to do, young entrepreneurs and, you know, business people. And I really feel like if we really get it right, we all could be eating, you know? There's a reason why these leagues are successful. Yeah, there's a reason why these leagues are successful. And they're still not fucking with each other. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, KOD has yet linked up with URL. And that may never happen. But it would be dope to see that. You know what I mean? And I'm getting hate already from dudes in my community. You know what I mean? I'm trying to, like, you know, and I'll probably still get that. But I'm not yearning for their camaraderie if they ain't gonna give me love. But I'll be here, you know. I'll be here, you know. So trust me, I've been trying to put this together and a couple other homies for years, bro. And it always ends up in arguments and shit. And nothing ever solidifies out of it, you know. That's a funny thing, you know. And I think I just moved out to Sacramento, and I noticed that with the promoters and shit. You know what I mean? They just want to be like, oh, I'm the dude that brought out 2 Chainz, and I'm a writer good, and I want to glom off this motherfucker. You know what I mean? So, other than
trust me, I know. Trust me, I know.
Yeah.
I love my city to death, man, but yeah, it's grimy out here at times, man.
Man, I'm trying to get used to it, man. I just moved out that, man. Like, man, we got to go kick it, dude. I'm like, I don't even understand how you guys handle the heat out there, man. It's hard to adjust. It's hard to adjust, man.
Oh, trust me, bro. The heat out here is no joke. But nah, it's like, and you notice it, and it happens with, and Billy Boondock said this, and I have to shout him out for this, because when he said it, it made sense. But then I started looking at it more closely, like just regionally and like just with your own individual cities, and you see it. Normally, you'll have one person that'll get that crazy push because they're just special. They just have that it factor. But the rest of the people who are grinding, who are dope as well, who could do all the same things as that person, don't get the push because everybody's trying to compete with everybody. Everybody's trying to throw salt on the next man. They don't want that person to get the type of pub that they feel that they should be getting. And it's just a lot of grimy stuff. Nobody wants to work together. There's not enough unity. And so, you know, I noticed that in Sacramento with the music. I noticed that in battle rap, you know, just out here on the West, you just see it. It's like you see the ones who have the talent, they have everything, and they just need that support system, man. They just need that unification where everybody's on the same code. They on the same page, like, hey, this is for the West. Like, we can go ahead and get all of our names popping and, you know what I'm saying, build out here and have events out here that are even bigger than the URL events, bigger than the Summer Madness, bigger than unknown. We have everything we need here to do that. We just have to all get on the same page and want the same thing for the right reasons. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. I feel like we're starting to get back to that. Like people like yourself, R&B, you know, tracks, a lot of people. It's just all the leagues, man. I just see Ahat, you have the Riot, LA Battleground, Shots Fired. There's so many leagues out here, and there's so many people who are working for this region. And it's like in the last few years, you can see the progression. You can just see it starting to take off. Like we having classics out here that the whole world has to pay attention to. And so now I feel like, okay, now it's time to parlay that into something bigger.
Right.
And I feel like we're on our way with that. And
No doubt, no doubt. It's a renaissance, you know what I mean? And it always ciphers back to the old. History repeats itself, and it's that time. You know what I mean? It's that time, and it's because evident because you have artists right now that was dope in the '90s. They're still dope. You know what I mean? Like people like the Locks and shit. You know what I mean? It's still killing it. You know what I mean? So it's not an age factor, but it's on. We could complain all we want, but it's on the old school people to teach these guys. You know what I mean? You can complain all you want, but you know what I mean? Where are you to help out the change and stuff, though? You know what I mean? A long time ago, I made it a point not to hate on the next man. I don't hate on mumble rap or Lil Yachty or all that bullshit and stuff. I may not agree with it or go buy that CD, but I appreciate it because they doing something. You know what I mean? And that's the whole thing about it's all connected, and we got to let each other fly. You know what I mean? To elevate each other as a whole. You know? And when I went out to Washington recently, shouts out to the Washington branch, Ahat. They showed a lot of love. You know what I mean? I appreciate that shit. You know what I mean? And that's that they're holding the template of how you got to treat the artists and whatnot, you know. And as far as the artists too, I was filling the card. A lot of these dudes want tickets, and you know what I mean, and for us to pay the hotel and whatnot and stuff though. But dudes got to remember, it's investing in your brand. You know what I mean? It's going to take money to make money, and yeah, this shit is going to be like scary at first financially, but you know what I mean? Scare money don't make money, and I see the vision, and that's all worth it, even if I have to come out my pocket, you know what I mean? To an extent.
That's a fact. Hey, trust me, I know because like I said, when I first started this, man, all I wanted to do was give back to the culture. And I said, I don't care how much I got to come up out my own pocket, man. It's going to be worth it because it's giving back to this region, man. It's more so about the region. It's what you leaving behind because we ain't going to be here forever. So if you're just trying to build for yourself and then not thinking about anything else, man, that's just kind of like, okay, you're doing it for you. What are you leaving behind, though? You're just going to leave behind the fact that you know what I'm saying, we're doing you. Like, nah, like I want to go ahead and make sure this region is took care of so in the future they can just go ahead and carry that torch into the future. It's not going to stop with us. You know what I'm saying? You got future generations coming up. We got people battling now. They getting younger and younger now. Battle rap now is becoming almost a job. Like people can literally eat off of battle rap, whereas before people only battled just so they could get their music heard, just so they could get their music out there. That's the only reason a lot of people battle. So now people are actually living off of it. It's becoming bigger. You're getting on TV shows. You know what I'm saying? Leagues are starting to pop up out of everywhere. So it's like it's getting so much bigger now. So, you know what I'm saying? The people who are putting the quality forth and actually doing something that's real for their city, their region, and where they're at, man, those are the people who I feel are going to take it to the next level.
No doubt, no doubt. And when I first got into the game, into this battle rap shit, and I was telling a lot of my old school homies that I was going to get into it, and it was like, why? Like, why do you want to do this? What do you have to prove? And I was like, you don't understand. Even to this day, they're like, why are you even fucking doing this? Like you wouldn't even have anything to prove. But it's like, it's bigger than that. You know what I mean? It's the love for the culture. It's speaking out in some sense to preserve what we believe in. And, I hope to emulate that through my lyrics and what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Like through my rounds and stuff, it touches on that. In some shape or way or form, it touches on that. You know what I mean? And not only am I speaking on some shit, I'm trying to educate too as well. And they couldn't say anything about that at the end of the day. And it was like, yo, you really do give a shit about, what you're doing. And it's a higher purpose, And I truly believe that, man. I truly believe, like, this battle rap culture is the purest form of hip-hop right now. Dudes don't go to the radio to hear the dope lyrics now. They go to these battles to hear the lyricism part of what we call hip-hop. you know, and that's real, you know, and that's why I fucks with it. The only thing I'm scared is it doesn't get corny, you know what I mean? And I'm hoping that, you know, we don't see McDonald's commercials, you know, we kind of sort of see it with battle rap and all that, and they just try to fucking, you know, try to glom off what we built, you know, and it's on us to preserve that, you know.
Yeah, that's a fact, man. But no, I want to say to you, King, because this whole entire dialogue, man, this has been refreshing because it's like I've been, you know, fortunate to go ahead and meet a lot of people like yourself who are just focused on bringing the quality. They just real, they're authentic. You know what I'm saying? There's no games, there's nothing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so it's like, man, I appreciate the people like yourself who just have that genuine, you know what I'm saying, love for this and whatnot. But what I wanted to do right now, man, is I wanted to give you.
I respect you, and I thank you, and it's an honor, bro. And when I get back to SAC, man, let's go kick it, brethren. You know what I mean? You know, barbecue up or whatever. Man. Let's do it up.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Well, I want to give you these next few minutes, man. I want to give you a chance to go ahead and do any shout outs and also be able to plug everything that you have going on, man, so that the people can go ahead and check you guys out.
Okay. You know, Ahat Hawaii. Those who are living in the outer islands, throughout the 8 islands, you know, please get in touch with ODS on Facebook or Instagram, or myself, Kaleo, a.k.a. Son the One. Get in touch with us if you want to start up battle rapping and you're interested. You know, you got to put down a registration of $100. We're also looking for artists to perform. If you got dope music, please register that into SOD or Kaleo, a.k.a. Son the One, to register your music. We're giving out like promotions to play your music on the radio out in Las Vegas. You get a feature in the magazine, and you get help pushed by like some promoters as well to start performing. I like to just give a shout out to OD. I like to give a shout out to S, Hypnosis, all the promoters and all the presidents throughout all the chapters in AHAT. Shout out to all the real motherfuckers, man, and you know, all the positive people that mess with me. You know, I don't need to say no names. You guys know who you are, and I respect y'all. I got mad love for y'all, and I'm here for any of y'all. You know what I mean? Just hit me up if you guys just want to like link up, do business, you know, invest, whatever. You know what I mean? So, you know, enough said, man. And it's all love. It's all love. Word.
Yeah, that's what it is, man. But you know, I definitely appreciate you calling up, King. And anytime that you free, man, you know, call up if you want to, you know, get in on a debate. You know what I'm saying? If you want to come, you know, call up and, you know, plug something in, let the people know about something, man. You are always welcome on the show, King. 100.
No doubt. And we'd love to see you at the October 6th and 7th out in Hawaii, man. You know what I mean? Like put some time away and let's make it happen, man. We're going to get like a vacation house out there. We're going to try to do either a block party or a luau 2-day event. The card is bananas. And what we're trying to do is, even if we're doing like 2 or 3 events, it's going to be something to look forward to, you know, towards the end of the years or whatnot in the middle of the season and get out there, and it'll be like a / vacation. And we're trying to emulate the culture and show what Hawaii is really about, is that unity and love and family, you know what I mean, at the end of the day, you know what I mean, because it ain't all that serious, man. You know, I think a lot of people is getting a little too serious and a little too full of themselves, and they need to just mellow out, because at the end of the day, it's all about networking and building each other up, you know what I mean, and that's you know, that's word.
Yeah, most definitely, King. But I appreciate you coming on, and we're going to get you back up here soon, King.
Much aloha and much respect. Yes. Blessings evening, man. And I look forward to the show as well after this, too.
All right, King.
All right. Have a good night, my brother. Aloha.